Chapter 6, Financial Strategy for Security Leaders, Aligning Security Budgets with Business Priorities. Here's the challenge. Too often, security budgets get cut because leadership doesn't see the direct value, or they get bloated with tools that don't actually move the needle. The sweet spot? Aligning security spending with business priorities so that every investment in security adds measurable business value. Security, a business function, not a cost center. If security is seen as just another line item in the IT budget, you're already on the back foot. As a security leader, you need to shift the conversation. Cybersecurity protects revenue, keeps operations running, and builds customer trust. A solid security budget should prevent costly downtime and breaches that can cripple the business, enable digital transformation by ensuring new tech is secure from the start, reduce financial exposure by keeping the company compliant with regulations and lowering risk. How to tie security budgets to business priorities. 1. Get inside the business strategy. If security isn't directly supporting business goals, it's just an overhead cost. You need to know where the company is headed, expanding into new markets, launching products, scaling operations, and align security investments to these priorities. Are you entering a highly regulated industry? Security needs to ensure compliance from day one. Rolling out a cloud migration? Security should be embedded into the transition, not an afterthought. The more integrated security is with business strategy, the easier it is to justify budget. 2. Prioritize based on risk, not fear. Not every risk is created equal, and you can't protect everything with the same level of urgency. Take a risk-based approach. Identify the company's most valuable assets, customer data, intellectual property, operational systems, and direct resources where the financial and reputational stakes are highest. If an attack on your payment processing system would cost millions in downtime and lost revenue, that's where security investment should go first. Don't let fear-based arguments drive spending. Let data-backed risk assessments do the talking. 3. Prove cybersecurity ROI in business terms. Security investments don't always have obvious ROI like revenue-generating projects, but you can still prove value. Think in terms of cost avoidance and business continuity. Ask yourself, what's the estimated financial damage of a major data breach? Consider legal fees, lost revenue, and reputational harm. How does security contribute to uptime and operational efficiency? Fewer disruptions mean a more productive business. What's the cost of failing a compliance audit versus proactively meeting regulatory requirements? When you position security spending as a business safeguard rather than an IT cost, leadership listens. 4. Work with finance, not against them. Security leaders and CFOs don't always speak the same language, but they need to. If you're presenting your budget request in technical terms, you're missing the mark. Instead of pitching security tools, frame discussions in financial impact, risk mitigation, liability reduction, and operational resilience. Build relationships with finance leaders early, so when budget season comes around, security isn't just another expense, it's an essential part of risk management. 5. Make the budget flexible. The cybersecurity landscape shifts fast, and your budget needs to keep up. Instead of locking in rigid annual spending, build flexibility. Reallocate funds as threats evolve. Instead of setting everything in stone, have a percentage of your budget that can be redirected based on emerging risks and changing priorities. Plan for incident response costs. Because breaches happen, you might be able to work with the CFO to structure proactive funding that addresses urgent needs while accounting for delays in cyber insurance payouts. Having a rapid response financial reserve ensures quick action when needed. Scale security with business growth. If the business is expanding, security should scale accordingly. If new markets, acquisitions, or cloud deployments are in the pipeline, security investments need to be factored in from the start. 2. Making the business case for security spending. Forget the technical deep dives. When you're talking to business leaders, focus on what matters to them. Financial impact. Security is a financial safeguard. Show how it prevents losses from breaches, downtime, and regulatory fines. Instead of vague risk reduction claims, present real numbers based on industry benchmarks and past incidents. Competitive advantage. Cybersecurity isn't just about avoiding bad press. It's a differentiator. Strong security builds customer trust, improves investor confidence, and can even be a selling point in industries where data protection is a key concern. Business resilience. Security isn't about avoiding attacks. It's about ensuring the business can take a hit and keep moving. A company that weathers a cyber attack with minimal disruption stands out as a well-managed, prepared organization. If you, as a security leader, can frame cybersecurity as a business enabler instead of a cost, you're not just securing your budget, you're securing your seat at the leadership table. Cybersecurity isn't an expense, it's an investment in the company's future. When you understand profit and loss, P&L, cash flow, and cost-benefit analysis, you can make a stronger case for investment and align security decisions with business strategy. If you can talk in financial terms, you'll get leadership buy-in fast and prove that cybersecurity is an essential part of profitability and sustainability. P&L. Seeing cybersecurity as business performance. Your organization's P&L statement shows revenue, costs, and profitability. Security spending often falls under operational expenses, but it directly impacts both costs and revenue protection. Direct costs. These are the security program's obvious and measurable expenses. Salaries for security teams, purchasing security tools such as firewalls and endpoint protection, compliance-related costs, and third-party vendors all contribute to operational expenses. These costs must be carefully tracked and optimized to ensure resources are being used efficiently. Indirect costs. Cyber incidents don't just come with immediate recovery costs, they also carry hidden financial impacts. Downtime from a breach can lead to massive productivity losses. Breach recovery efforts can drain internal resources, and legal penalties from non-compliance can be substantial. Additionally, lost business due to reputational damage may have long-term financial consequences that far exceed the cost of preventive security investments. Revenue protection. Customers trust businesses that prioritize security. When data is compromised, trust erodes, and customers leave. Preventing breaches directly contributes to business continuity. Customer retention and avoiding regulatory fines, all of which safeguard long-term profitability. You need to position cybersecurity as risk mitigation rather than just another expense. A well-funded security program reduces unexpected financial losses and protects the company's ability to generate revenue. Cash flow. Timing matters in security investments. Cash flow is about ensuring the business has the liquidity to keep operations running smoothly. Even when unexpected expenses arise, security investments need to be structured in a way that balances protection with financial health. If security spending puts unnecessary strain on cash flow, it'll always be a target for cuts. Smart planning ensures security stays funded without disrupting other priorities. CapEx versus OpEx. Understanding the difference between capital expenditures, CapEx, and operational expenditures, OpEx, is critical for structuring cybersecurity investments. Big-ticket items like firewalls, security infrastructure, and data center upgrades typically fall under CapEx, large, one-time purchases that require significant upfront investment. On the other hand, security software subscriptions, cloud security services, and SOC, Security Operations Center outsourcing, fall under OpEx, recurring expenses that can be spread out over time. Aligning security investments with the right financial category helps optimize budget approval and cash flow planning. Cyber insurance considerations. Many companies rely on cyber insurance to soften the financial impact of security incidents. But here's the catch. Payouts aren't immediate. Even with a solid policy, businesses can wait weeks or months for reimbursement. Meanwhile, breach recovery costs, legal fees, customer notifications, forensic investigations have to be covered upfront. This is why maintaining enough liquidity to fund rapid incident response is non-negotiable. CFOs and security leaders should work together to structure financial reserves or contingency budgets to bridge the gap. Staggered investments. Security doesn't have to be an all-or-nothing game. Instead of making massive one-time purchases, you can spread out security investments over time. This phased approach allows the organization to prioritize the most critical protections first, while keeping spending manageable. For example, instead of a full security overhaul in one budget cycle, You can implement endpoint protection now, zero trust architecture next quarter, and a security awareness training program after that. This approach aligns with financial planning while ensuring continuous security improvements. Security spending must be predictable and sustainable. By planning investments strategically, you ensure to secure without throwing cash flow into chaos. Cost-benefit analysis, making the business case. When it comes to securing a cybersecurity budget, business leaders aren't interested in worst-case scenarios. They want numbers, impact, and a clear return on investment. That's where a solid cost-benefit analysis (CBA) comes in. Instead of talking about threats in abstract terms, you need to quantify risk, demonstrate cost savings, and show how security investments align with business priorities. Here's an example for how to build an airtight CBA that executives will understand and approve. 1. Identify and quantify risks. Start by mapping out the real financial impact of cybersecurity risks. This isn't about fear, it's about hard numbers. Consider the average cost of a data breach for your industry, legal fees, regulatory fines, forensic investigations, lost revenue. The impact of downtime, missed transactions, productivity loss, contract penalties, customer churn from reputational damage. How much revenue would be lost if even a small percentage of clients left? The goal is to translate security risks into financial risks, numbers executives care about. 2. Compare prevention costs versus incident costs. Once you have your risk assessment, compare it to the cost of prevention. Look at specific security investments, firewalls, threat detection, training programs, and measure them against potential losses. Example: a phishing attack costs the company €500,000 in lost revenue and response efforts. Implementing email security and employee training costs €150,000. The business case? A €150,000 investment prevents a €500,000 loss. Executives think in terms of cost avoidance, so frame security spending as an investment that reduces known financial risks. 3. Show efficiency gains and cost savings. Security doesn't just prevent losses, it can also improve business efficiency and reduce long-term costs. Look at automation savings. AI-driven threat detection reduces manual security workload. Compliance cost reductions, avoiding fines and legal fees with proactive security measures. Operational uptime. Stronger security means fewer outages, ensuring continuous revenue streams. If security investments save time, reduce complexity, or replace inefficient processes, those are real financial benefits worth highlighting. 4. Demonstrate competitive and revenue impact. Security is a business enabler. Strong cybersecurity helps businesses win contracts that require compliance and security assurances. Maintain customer trust and avoid reputational hits. Gain investor confidence, especially in sectors where security is a deal breaker. Position cybersecurity as a strategic advantage, not just a cost center. Use a simple, executive-friendly format. Your CBA should be concise and visually clear. A simple table or comparison model works best. Visualize a table with 4 columns: security risk, potential loss annual, mitigation cost, ROI %. In the table, you would have several rows with information aligned to them. For example, on row 1, ransomware attack, a potential loss of $1.2 million, a mitigation cost of $300K, backup and recovery, resulting in an ROI of 400%. Next might be phishing attack, $500K, $150K, email security and training, 333%, and regulatory fine, $750K, $250K, compliance investment, 300%. Executives want clarity. Keep the messaging sharp. This investment prevents X loss, improves Y process, and strengthens Z competitive advantage. Key takeaways. Make security spending about numbers, not fear. Speak in financial terms, not just risk scenarios. Demonstrate ROI clearly. Prevention is cheaper than response. Show the math. Tie cybersecurity to business outcomes. Protect revenue, improve efficiency, and strengthen competitive positioning. Measure and present the ROI of cybersecurity initiatives. Like any investment, executives want to know, what's the return? Can we measure it? How does it compare to other business priorities? Most security leaders struggle to quantify ROI because security's value is in what doesn't happen: breaches avoided, fines prevented, downtime minimized. But executives don't approve budgets based on what could have gone wrong. They need tangible numbers, clear impact, and a financial case that makes security spending a no-brainer. Here's how you do it. 1. Define ROI for cybersecurity. What counts as a return? In a traditional business investment, ROI is measured as profit generated from an initial cost. In cybersecurity, ROI is about risk reduction, cost avoidance, and operational efficiency. Your job is to show how security investments protect revenue, lower expenses, and enable the business to operate securely. The key categories: cost avoidance, preventing losses from breaches, ransomware payouts, regulatory fines, and legal fees. Quantify the costs of past breaches, internally or industry-wide, and compare them to the cost of prevention. Operational efficiency, automating security processes, reducing labor-intensive tasks, and improving response times. If a security automation tool saves your IT team 1,000 hours a year, translate that into labor cost savings. If a faster response reduces downtime, convert that into revenue saved. Revenue protection, avoiding reputational damage, customer churn, and lost contracts due to weak security. Show how cybersecurity investments protect customer retention, contract renewals, and business growth by preventing disruptions and maintaining trust. Competitive advantage, winning business by demonstrating strong security compliance and resilience. Many contracts now require strict security standards. Companies with stronger cybersecurity postures qualify for bigger deals, faster approvals, and fewer compliance roadblocks. Show how your security investments align with business growth strategies. Once you define what counts as a return, you can start measuring it in ways that make sense to executives. 2. Measure ROI with clear metrics. Executives need numbers, not vague security jargon. To measure cybersecurity ROI effectively, use concrete financial models that clearly demonstrate value. Here's how. Cost of a breach versus cost of prevention. Don't just state that a breach is expensive. Put real numbers on it. If a ransomware attack could result in a €2 million loss, but an endpoint security solution costs $250K per year, the savings become clear. Gather industry data on breach costs and calculate a projected risk-adjusted impact. Show decision makers the savings in context. Investing in X security tool reduces the probability of a breach from 30% to 5%, translating to €1.5 million in potential loss avoidance. Time and productivity gains. Look beyond avoiding losses. How does security improve efficiency? If your security automation reduces manual incident analysis from 8 hours per case to 30 minutes, calculate the saved labor cost over a year. Highlight where automation frees up resources. By reducing false positives by 50%, security teams reclaim 500 hours per quarter, allowing them to focus on high-priority threats. Regulatory and legal cost avoidance. Compliance fines can be brutal. If GDPR non-compliance fines average €14.8 million, a €500K investment in compliance programs makes financial sense. Show how proactive compliance measures reduce audit costs, accelerate certification processes, and eliminate regulatory fines. Example: a €200K investment in compliance automation saved €1.2 million in potential legal costs over 3 years. Incident response savings. Speed matters. If an uncontained breach costs $500K per hour in downtime, then an improved incident response, reducing containment time from 48 hours to 6 hours, results in multi-million euro savings. Use before and after metrics. Reducing detection to containment time from 24 hours to 4 hours cut downtime costs by 80%. Revenue protection and customer retention. Customers leave when security fails. If churn analysis shows 5% of customers leave after a breach, and each customer generates €10,000 per year, quantify the long-term revenue risk of weak security. Frame it as an investment. By strengthening our data protection, we avoid customer churn that would otherwise cost €5 million in lost revenue annually. These metrics turn security into a business discussion, one with tangible financial impact, not just risk mitigation. 3. How to present security ROI in the right format. Executives want clear, impactful visuals and summaries. Structure your presentation like this. 1. Start with the bottom line. This investment reduces financial risk by X euros and improves operational efficiency by Y%. 2. Use visuals. Charts, before and after comparisons, and clear financial models make data easier to digest. 3. Keep it concise. No long explanations, just key takeaways, financial justification, and direct business impact. By framing cybersecurity ROI around the priorities of each executive audience, CFOs focused on cost control, CEOs looking at business continuity, and boards concerned with risk, you shift the conversation from IT spending to business-critical investment. That's how you secure buy-in. Cybersecurity doesn't have to be a necessary cost. When you measure and present ROI the right way, it becomes a strategic investment that drives business success. Financial strategies for small and scaling businesses. One of the most effective ways to level the playing field for smaller organizations is by partnering with a managed security service provider, MSSP. Instead of hiring a full-time security team, you get access to around-the-clock threat monitoring, managed firewalls, and compliance support, all for a predictable monthly fee. This approach not only reduces overhead, but ensures your business has access to expert security guidance without the need for in-house specialists. For many small and growing businesses, MSSPs offer the flexibility and scalability that make cybersecurity both manageable and cost-effective. Another game changer for small businesses is leveraging open-source security tools. There was a time when free software came with trade-offs, but today, some of the most powerful security solutions are open source and widely trusted in the industry. Whether it's Snort for intrusion detection, OSEC for host-based security monitoring, or Let's Encrypt for SSL encryption, these tools provide robust protection at no cost. The key is knowing which tools fit your needs and ensuring someone, whether in-house or outsourced, has the expertise to configure and manage them properly. Cloud security is another area where small businesses can punch above their weight. Unlike traditional security models that require hefty upfront investments in hardware and software, cloud-native solutions offer built-in security features that scale as your business grows. Since cloud providers continuously update their security measures, small businesses benefit from enterprise-grade protection without the associated complexity or cost. Of course, even the best security measures can't eliminate every risk. That's where cyber insurance comes in. For many small businesses, a well-structured cyber insurance policy can mean the difference between bouncing back from an attack and facing financial ruin. But not all policies are created equal. Some offer broad coverage, including data recovery and breach response, while others bury exclusions in the fine print. If you're considering cyber insurance, look for policies that align with your business risks and ensure your provider offers proactive security assessments to help you avoid a claim in the first place. Small businesses don't need massive budgets to build strong cybersecurity defenses. What they need is a clear strategy, one that prioritizes the right partnerships, leverages cost-effective tools, and scales with growth. With the right approach, security stops being an obstacle and becomes a competitive advantage, protecting not just your data, but the future of your business. The art of negotiating. Getting cybersecurity budgets approved is about knowing how to negotiate effectively. You already know that security isn't just a cost, it's an investment in business stability, reputation, and growth. But executives don't approve spending because of technical risks. They do it when they see a clear business case. That's where your negotiation skills come in. Give leadership choices, not demands. No executive wants to be forced into a single option. Instead of presenting a security spend as a yes or no decision, offer tiered investment levels. A baseline security package ensures compliance and prevents major threats. An enhanced approach brings automation, better detection, and stronger resilience. A full-scale investment deeply integrates security into business operations. Giving leadership options makes them feel in control while steering them towards smarter decisions. Use compliance and risk as leverage. Regulators don't wait for companies to get around to compliance. Falling short on GDPR, CCPA, or PCI DSS invites fines, lawsuits, and reputational damage. Proactive security investments simplify audits, reduce legal exposure, and prevent costly penalties. Framing security as a way to avoid unnecessary regulatory expenses makes it an easier sell. Make the cost of doing nothing clear. Executives weigh every expense against the alternative of inaction. If the financial impact of a breach is projected at millions in losses, and a security upgrade costs a fraction of that, the numbers speak for themselves. Industry breach statistics, case studies, and cost-benefit comparisons can shift the conversation from, "Why spend this?" to, "Can we afford not to?" Position security as a growth enabler. Security is about enabling business growth. Strong security postures help companies win contracts, enter new markets, and maintain customer trust. If security improvements accelerate go-to-market strategies, reduce customer churn, and ensure compliance with high-value partnerships, they become revenue enablers rather than expenses. Pick the right moment to ask. Timing is everything. Budget planning cycles, post-incident windows, and regulatory shifts create natural moments when leadership is more receptive. Making the ask at the right time increases the likelihood of approval. Build support across departments. Legal and compliance teams reinforce regulatory risks. Finance teams help frame cybersecurity as an investment, not an expense. Operations teams highlight how security improves efficiency and reduces downtime. When multiple departments align, leadership sees security as a necessity, not a discretionary spend. Negotiate smartly, not aggressively. If leadership pushes back, don't treat it as a rejection. Treat it as a negotiation. Prioritize critical investments and phase others over time. Offer reallocation options instead of asking for additional funds. Identify cost-saving measures, such as vendor negotiations or managed security services. Showing flexibility demonstrates business awareness while keeping security at the forefront. Final thoughts. Securing cybersecurity investment isn't about fear, it's about strategy. Make security spending a business discussion, tie it to financial impact, and negotiate with confidence. When you position cybersecurity as a business enabler, you don't just win budget approval, you secure the company's future.